Hey everybody, I apologize. I apologize for the late start to tonight's stream. Welcome to Midnight Hatter Live, the weekly variety show where we talk Gundam, gaming, and Gunpla. As you can see, things are a little bit different here in this setup. This is my dedicated Gunpla workstation, and we are going to be using this space to open up some exciting packages that I got in the mail this week. As you guys know, last Friday was the official launch of the Gundam card game, and I went out of my way to make sure that I got a copy of the Wings of Advance as well as the Zeon's Rush assemble sets. First, obviously you guys are seeing it out of the box. These are huge packages. They're narrow, but they are large. It's about the size of an actual Gunpla box, which is kind of cool because there are Gunpla in these boxes. So we're going to cut these open, we're going to look at the cards inside, we're going to look at the miniatures inside, and we're probably going to do some silly stuff with said miniatures. Now, if you guys are looking for the typical, hey, here's how I painted the miniatures, that's not what we're going to be doing tonight. Sorry to disappoint you. The only reason we're not doing that is because obviously there's a lot of other stuff that we're going to be doing with these miniatures before we paint them. And I hope you guys are excited about that. If you know me, you know that I'm not just going to take these guys out and start painting. We will do that, but not tonight. So, let me see here. Over in the chat, we've got Gundam Explained. Hey, buddy. Ultronimus has been here since forever. JamCalX. Byron Navarre, good to see you, my friend. Good to see all of you. Zeonic Shadow. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. We were supposed to start this like an hour ago, but when I went to go pick up my daughter, it was like torrential downpour when we got to the daycare. So, Pizza Friday was kind of delayed. I had to, quickly make some pizza for my daughter. That's how it goes, Let's see. Zeon's Rush sounds like it will be more my cup of tea. Agreed. These are the two sets that I think spoke to me the most. Out of the four sets, you guys are probably aware, there were 4 starter decks that came out. There was Heroic Beginnings, which is like the white base team, and I think there's a lot of, because it's a white-blue deck, it's got a lot of Witch from Mercury cards in it, which actually the Witch from Mercury cards look pretty badass, I gotta say. Starter deck 2A is the Wings of Advance, which is a blue and green deck. So you've got some Gundam Wing stuff, you've got some Gundam Seed stuff, I want to say, as well as maybe some original Gundam stuff. Starter deck 3 is going to be Zeon's Rush. That's your green-red deck, which is, Zeon as the, well, actually it's like Zeon and then Neo Zeon, and then there's some Zaft stuff in there. I think, like the Aegis Gundam, the Infinite Justice Gundam, those guys fall in the red camp. And then finally, starter deck 4 was Siege Strike. So that one's, so let's see, there's white-blue, blue-green, green-red, and then a Siege Strike white-red. Each deck only contains 2 colors, so, every deck kind of has like a pre-built set, so to speak. Yes, I did say your name, Zeonic Shadow. Yeah, I'm actually giving chat shout-outs tonight. This is not like a formal stream like we normally do on Wednesdays. This is something unique just because of what we've got here. I've got my special knife that we're going to be using to cut these boxes open. These packages actually came in yesterday, and so I have been a good boy and not cracked them open immediately. And so we are going to cleanly open these guys up in front of you. We're not going to go through every single card because all the starter decks are the same, but let's just review the box before we dive into what's actually in the box. So we've got our stellar box art. It's got the cards up top. It's got the assemble figures below. We've got, the sides of the box are just kind of color-coded where it's blue-green. And then on the back side, we have everything that is included, the ready-to-play starter deck, as well as one booster pack from the current lineup of Gundam card game cards. You get your Gundam Assemble figures, 3 of them included in the package. And then, yeah, I mean, I need to get my hands on some of these, like, specific Gundam Assemble colors to paint with, because I am going to be using, when we paint, obviously we are going to paint, but we're going to be using Vallejo model color, because that's what I use for everything. It's what I use for full-size Gunpla, so it's probably going to be what I use for minis. So yeah, even just looking at this, we've got 16 card types, 14 common, 2 legend rares. The contents include 1 ready-to-play 50-card deck, 10 resource cards, 1 paper damage counter, 8 token cards. That's a lot, actually, now that I think about it, because in the, like, the test deck that you got at, like, the Learn to Play events, you only got 3 token cards. So 8 token cards, 1 bonus pack, the rules slash play sheet, so that's cool, and then the 3 Gundam Assemble figures. Now, you guys know that, like, as far as, like, the token cards and the damage counters, I'm not too interested in that, because if you guys follow me, you know that I'm designing 3D printable, you know, dice and a box to store all this stuff in. So again, follow me if you are not already, and we're gonna build something really cool around this deck. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the audio here. I'm using my camera audio, which is something new for me, because obviously, you know, behind me is where I would normally be sitting. It's very weird to be here at my Gunpla station with the overhead camera, with the DSLR filming. It's weird. Let's see, I'll eye out if I get my hands on some. I'll mail you some because I'm a good sponsor. Yes, you are, sir. Shout out to Principality New York, the best sponsors in the game. The best, I mean, if there's anybody doing more for the Gunpla community than Principality New York, I sure don't know about them. Well, let me put it this way. If there's anybody doing more than Bandai Namco for the Gunpla community than Principality New York, they don't exist. Ultronus says, audio sounds good, sweet. Gundam Explained says, good setup. Adam, I would have loved to do this stream with you, because obviously you're the man. You're the Gundam guy. Like, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, you are the Gundam guy. We're going to start with the Wings of Advance set, specifically because I know a lot of you guys are already excited about the Zeon's Rush set, and I am too. So I think it makes more sense to start with Wings of Advance. Let's see what's in this box. I'm not going to bury the lead anymore. Let's see what we got here. Crack it open. So, right off the bat, we have this nice little plastic clamshell that's got our starter deck with the holographic Wing Gundam, as well as our assemble sets. We have our Wings of Advance bonus pack. This is actually the exact same. This is so perfect. So this is the exact same starter deck, like, paper mat that came with the Learn to Play event. If you guys didn't know, last weekend, I should say, I took my daughter to the Learn to Play event and got a sample starter deck, which was awesome, but, like, you know, hey, come on. We don't need paper mats in here. Let's, tell you what, let me know in chat if you guys want me to design a nylon mat that is the play mat, but, you know, basically has all the information that this has on it, but in a nylon form that's more portable, that's more durable. Obviously, actually, right underneath this cutting mat, I have the Gundam Explained Gunpla cutting mat. So I would probably source it from the same place, and I want to design a mat that makes sense for the Gundam card game. let me know in the chat if you guys want to see something like that. Here we go. The new tabletop Gundam game debuts. Coming soon, Gundam Assemble, January 2026. They've already announced that this particular Gunpla miniature game is going to be coming out. It looks like they give you Gunpla style instructions for these miniatures, which is kind of silly because like once we crack these open, you guys are going to see it's not rocket surgery to put these things together. So, but I love I mean, the design of the manual for designing these kits. Now, one thing I will say is I saw some people online actually were putting together the Siege Strike assemble kit, and what was interesting is that the Siege Strike assemble model kits, you can actually swap out parts, and so that means like you can kind of customize the miniature to your own liking. Personally, this is the game I'm most excited about, is the miniatures war game. But, you know, for now we are going to play the card game, which I am loving so far. And of course, if you can customize these, I will be doing so using tiny 1mm neodymium magnets. So, you know, instructions be damned, we are going to be creating our own custom mobile suits. I'm excited. There's so many things to be stoked about when it comes to this particular set, because obviously the card game is so much fun. Like, I'll be honest with you, I was not particularly excited about the card game when it first was announced. But now, having played it, now that I have a sample deck of my own, I've got these 2 starter decks, I'm getting much more into the spirit of it. And so, the card game aspect of it, I'm stoked on. This was always the aspect of it that I was the most stoked on, were the miniatures. But we're gonna save that for the end here. So, first, let's take a look at the standard deck. Here is the standard little set of punch-out cards. This actually matches the same punch-out cards that were offered during the Learn to Play event. And again, this is cool, but we don't need that because we're going to be designing some 3D printable dice to keep track of like damage tokens and all that good stuff. It is interesting though. The sample version doesn't include the text AP and HP. It just says +1/+1. But it's the same difference. I mean, the dice that I'm designing are going to include +1, +2, -1, -2, -3, -4, because so far there aren't any units or any bases that have 5 or above HP. So in theory, you don't need more than -4 to measure the HP of any given unit. Now look at the holographic wing Gundam here on top. Breach 5. Oh man, that looks so sick. Holographic wing Gundam number 2. Holographic tall geese. Come on, y'all. This is and a second holographic tall geese. Honestly, I am surprised by the quality of the holographic cards. They are not... There is like a thickness and a texture to these cards. Ooh, yikes, dropped one. There's a thickness and a texture to these cards that is not common with like your average just playing card. And I'm not going to go through every single card from the starter deck because obviously you guys know that the starter decks are going to come with specific cards and specific tokens. The Leo, the Tall Geese, the whole reason that they come with these assemble miniatures is because the assemble miniatures are supposed to represent your token cards. So like, for instance, here we've got the Tall Geese token, and I'm sure that there's a card effect that allows you to summon a Tall Geese token when it is in play. That's what these miniatures are for. They're really not like... They don't offer any combat buffs or anything like that. Now these This is a special bonus pack. This is basically like a booster pack that comes with these starter decks. So this is actually what's most unique about this because it's the most randomized. I'm very curious what we're going to get in here. It is guaranteed one holographic card. Let's see what we get. Siege Ploy. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a command type card with a burst effect, which means that it activates when it is destroyed as a shield. If you guys haven't watched, I actually posted a whole video about how the game plays. That was last week. Shield cards, when they are destroyed, they have this burst effect that is activated when they are destroyed. And this one has said burst effect. It's got this sick art of 2 Ares as well as the Gundam Heavy Arms. The effect is select one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. Pretty cool. Not bad, I will say. And now, for the moment you guys and I have all been waiting for, let's cut open this baggie full of, looks like there's some bases in there. And this is our Gunpla bag. Let's see what time we're at here. Yeah, just 20 minutes after here. So I do have to run fairly shortly, but we are gonna at least cover some of the cool stuff here. Ooh. So that looks like the Tall Geese. We've got some bases. Leo space type. And a Leo ground type. I love that these actually fit quite cleanly on the cutting mat here. So, like, of course the Tall Geese is going to be the largest runner. I mean, dude, first of all, I said this when they were first announced, but I love the idea that these are all on runners. They are all technically Gunpla to the, you know, for all intents and purposes. That Dober gun is pretty sick there. The head fin is an individual part from the torso / head part. We've got 2 arms built in here, 2 arms built in here, a leg, the booster packs for the backpack. So the Tall Geese is probably the most complicated figure in this particular set. The space type Leo is much simpler. The backpack, the legs are all one piece here. It looks like the head and the torso are one piece. We've got one arm. The left arm is right here, and then the right arm holds this beam bazooka. Which is unfortunate because it looks kind of like, and let me just double check here. So this is our ground type Leo, and it's got the head, the left arm, and the right leg, which is kind of a weird combination. It's like left arm, right leg, head are this side. The torso, left leg is here, and then the right arm is up here. So what I was hoping to be able to do, and I'm not entirely convinced that we're not going to be able to do this, but I was hoping we'd be able to maybe like create a space type Leo that has the machine gun instead of the beam bazooka. I saw online that like some people were swapping out parts for the seed starter set, like they would swap out parts between the miniatures. So far it doesn't look like it's going to be that easy with these particular kits, but I think we'll still make it work. Obviously we can use magnets, we can use 3D printing, we can do a lot of different things to make these parts work with one another and design like a whole fleet of nothing but Space Leos. Yeah. yeah, I'm pretty excited about these. And honestly, they look huge. Like, compared to what a typical 1/200th scale model kit looks like, this is pretty big, especially for Wing. Like, because Wing is infamously a small mobile suited series. 16 times a second, plastic saw, and magnets. Amen, brother. You know what I'm talking about. Let me just make sure I'm reading the chat here. You're gonna send those to me to paint, right? Maybe. Stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that. 16 times a second. Might sound dumb, but I love the single runner holds an entire mini. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I love minis kind of more than model kits. Sue me. Let's see. The goose is loose, says JamCalX. And Purple Tall Geese gets my vote. We're definitely going to be doing some custom paint jobs with these guys. And if you think that I'm just going to be limited to just this runner, then you guys don't know me too well. Because obviously we're gonna come on, y'all know me. Next, let's go ahead and pop open Zeon's Rush. Let's take a look here and see what we've got inside. It's gonna be very similar, I imagine, because obviously this is a green-blue deck, this is a green-red deck, so. Whoa. So, this one, the instruction manual and the Gundam Assemble debut flyer were kind of crammed up near the top. Not the worst thing in the world. But similarly, let's go ahead and pop these guys out. Oh, there's our bonus card. So, just like the Wings of Advance set, we've got the starter deck, we've got the alternate card, we've got the Gundam Assemble figures, we've got the paper damage counters, which you guys are going to see here in just a second. Yeah, let's take a look at what's inside here. So, first of all, when it comes to the Zeon's Rush starter deck, that holographic Sinanju is pretty sick, and I actually hate the Sinanju as far as designs go. We have our typical tokens, but as you guys know, as I mentioned earlier, we're not going to be playing with tokens, are we? So as far as holographic cards go, because the deck is going to be the same, Char Zaku, we've got the standard Zaku, we've got our EX resource, our EX base, and then our standard resource cards. All the same stuff that comes in all the starter decks. But as far as holographic cards go, you've got the Sinanju here. And we've got Char Zaku. Oh man, that's... One of the things that I don't think was expressed quite well enough when they announced this game is the texture that is on the holographic cards, because it's not quite just like a, hey, it's a blanket holographic card. I wish that I could express it, and I'm sure that the camera can't catch it, but like the outline, the line art of the card has its own kind of UV ink to it, to where the card has like a rough, bumpy texture to it, but then the line art of the mobile suit has like a smooth texture to it. I like I said, I wish I could express it in any more articulate fashion than that. The holographic cards in this game are better than any holos I've seen in any other card game. And I mean, the card games that I played the most of were the Dragon Ball Z card game. I did play the Star Wars card game for a while, like back when the prequels came out. And then the biggest one was Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Yu-Gi-Oh! Holographic cards were pretty standard. These are quite special. I don't know if Will this pick it up? Yeah. Let's see what's in our bonus pack here. We pulled a very sick holographic card on our attempt here. The Blue Giant Ramba Raw. Oh my gosh! Wait right here. Did you get ice cream? Yeah. Yeah? What kind of ice cream?
I don't want to stay there.
Well, stay right here. I don't want you to come right in camera range. Here, let me tell you what. Let me do this real quick. I'm just gonna push a button real quick here. Okay. Are you gonna help me open some Gundams?
Open the Gundam.
You're gonna open some Gundams, okay. Oh, here we go. Alright, can you read this card for me? It says the Blue Giant. The Blue Giant. Choose one friendly unit, and it can't receive battle damage from enemy units with 2 or less AP this battle. Can you say Ramba Raw?
Ramba Raw?
That's right. You heard it here, folks. Ramba Raw. I have a special guest star here helping me with the opening and reviewing of this deck. Let's take a look here. Now these runners are slightly smaller than the Wings of Advanced runners, which isn't surprising. Zaku's are pretty simple by comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me how many parts are on this? Can you count for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Good job. So this has 6 parts. This is the standing Heat Hawk Zaku. So we've got one sort of grunt Zaku there. This one's probably the most interesting pose to me. Can you count how many parts are on this runner for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3.
No, that's 8.
8?
So this one is the Crouching Zaku that has the bazooka. So we've got Heat Hawk Zaku, we've got Bazooka Zaku, and then of course we have everybody's favorite, the Commander type Zaku, which most people are going to paint in the typical Char's Zaku color scheme. Hey, can you count these parts for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, they're not 10. It's just 8.
It's 8.
Just 8. So we've got the Zaku machine gun. What's interesting is it has a specific part for the commander fin, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think that's cool too?
Yeah.
And then these are the bases.
Yeah.
Those are the bases. These are huge, actually. Now that I think about it, these bases. Oh, hey, good job. Yeah, you can separate them like that. These bases are actually quite large, considering. You want to break them? You're allowed to. These bases are actually quite large, considering, you know, typical. I don't know. Do I have a miniature around here somewhere that we can look at? Here. Let me set you down real quick.
Why?
Because I need to grab something.
I'm in this chair.
Well, you're gonna sit with me.
Okay.
So as you guys know, I've been painting and designing miniatures for a long time. This is a 3D printed Skyward
no.
Sword. Oh, I'm sorry. So here we have a 3D printed and painted Skyward Sword Link. And it's one of my favorite pieces, but you know, it's really only like a 1-inch diameter base. Yeah, it's like this. Now, can you compare that base to this one? Which one's bigger?
This.
Yeah, this one's much bigger. So, like, when it comes to the scale of Gundam Assemble, if that's the base size, and this is like a typical miniature base size, obviously we're looking at a huge playmat. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Here, you want to hold that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I'm gonna hold it.
Sure. Yeah, you want to take this? Yeah, take that one and go set it on the table right over there.
Over here.
Yeah, set it right there. So,
Over here.
like I mentioned, you guys.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, there's some stuff that we are definitely going to do that's different than your standard.
I don't see that.
What's wrong?
I don't.
No, don't step on that. 16 times a second says that they are larger than Battletech bases, much larger than Battletech bases. And I have to say that even though they're round in this case, they're only round because they serve as tokens. They don't actually work as Gundam Assemble miniature figures. So, and it's very telling, the fact that the miniature figure is separate from the base. So it seems to me like the bases, they were always going to be designed to be separate.
What's this?
But like I said, you guys know me. You know that I'm not just gonna take these guys out, pop them off the runner, and paint them. We're gonna do something fun with them. So,
What's this?
it's clay. You wanna play with it?
I wanna eat it.
No, don't eat it! Don't eat it! You crazy. So, if you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I'm in love with this stuff. This is Silinot. It is a silicone mold alternative.
I'll break it?
No, don't break it. Well, yeah, you can break it. I have a couple of old unused molds here that we are going to melt down, and we're going to use this stuff to make some molds and try to make a copy of some of this Gunpla Assemble stuff that we've got here ahead of us. So let me go pop this in the microwave, then we're going to set this guy up so that we can start making a mold. We're going to make an army of Zaku's. Why not? Yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's do it. Come on, let's go look. Wait right here, you guys. Don't go anywhere. Come on. Okay. Here, let's see here. Where did I put our... Somewhere around here. So these guys, we're going to gather them up real quick. We're going to set them to the side. Because we only want to do one for now, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to set these guys over here. Alright, come on. Let's go take a look at our mold material. Hold steady, you guys. Woo! Alright. Whoa. That's not good.
I'm
I'll let you see in a minute here. Alright, so as you guys know, I typically like to go with a mold box made out of Legos because I can customize the shape and size of said mold box. But I am not going to be able to do that with these particular molds because, I mean, this is a pretty large model. Well, at least it's a large in terms of space. It's going to take up a lot. So, what we are going to do is we're going to utilize this old Tillamook sausage container. And here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to take the top because we can't really pour in the bottom. The bottom's not quite flat. So while our Silonot cooks, we're going to just cut a hole in the bottom here.
What are you doing?
Well, we're cutting a hole in it so that we can pour our mold into the tube. Do you want to do it?
Can't pull it out.
No, we can't pull it out just yet. First, we gotta cut. All right.
You have a cut.
That's right.
Why?
Because I'm gonna pour some liquid silicone in here.
You did it?
Well, not quite. I kind of broke my knife here. Let's see. So we're about...
I want to get on you.
You want to sit on my lap?
Yeah. I'm
Well-
going to watch you.
Well, why don't you watch from right there? We're almost done. And then once we pour this mold, we're going to be all done for the evening. Because we really need to wait for the mold to cure to do anything fun with it.
I'm going to go see. Can I go see Dada?
You want to go see?
Yeah.
Okay, you go look. So one of the benefits of having a microwave quite close to
Look,
my
this
work
is
desk.
Done. See, it's done already.
It is done. One of the benefits of having a microwave close to my work desk, in addition to being able to heat up
It's not
chicken wings.
food?
No, it's not food. Please don't eat it. You know, in addition to being able to cook up chicken wings while I'm at my desk and working, we can cook up some Silonot and some mold material like Oyumaru. And you guys know me, I like to make copies of everything I do before I start painting, before I start doing anything that is destructive. So if I were going to add magnets to these parts, I was going to cast them in resin anyway. So this is just my way of doing that ahead of time before I cut them off the runners.
You did it?
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the support. Let's go take a look at our mold material here. We might have to cook up some more. So you guys probably saw how much was in the mold bin earlier. We might add some more to it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Whoa. Ooh, man. Yep, let's cook that in. Watch out. Cook it. Alright, now while that heats up, what we're going to go ahead and do is take a piece of tape here. A little packing tape, nothing fancy. But the idea is we want to be able to hold this mold piece in place. And the idea here is that we're going to have this mold line right there along the top of this container. And the secret to working with this Silonot stuff is because it is heat activated, We want to make sure that we're not, no, don't touch that, please. Thank you. We want to make sure, because I've had some really, I'm sure if you guys have been following me for a while. Okay, you go take a look. If you guys have been following me for a while, you've seen that I've had some horror stories with the Silonaut where I've actually melted Gunpla parts.
It's so very done.
It's so very done? Oh my goodness.
Why don't you take the piece of tape and put it in there?
Well, the idea is we're going to try and hold this piece in place using the tape, and then we're going to pour a mold. Although, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not convinced that this is going to fill up this mold. Like, this is a lot. And, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't think this is gonna work. Because I actually have the container of Silonaut that I bought here. And, this is not going to fill this. So, we might have to put this little adventure on hold until I can come up with a either smaller mold container or I can get more Silonaut to make a mold of. Which is unfortunate because I was really excited to do this.
I'm trying to take it out.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make a copy of it, baby.
Why?
Because we don't have enough materials.
Okay.
Okay.
You have enough?
Yeah, we don't have enough.
No. You have enough material.
Yeah, we don't have enough materials. Well, that's a bummer. I was really excited, especially for this one, the Heat Hawk Zaku, to make a copy of it so that we could start, you know, I'm not going to settle for a single Zaku miniature. I want a legion of Zakus. So we're not going to pop these guys off the runners just yet. We're going to get our hands on some silicone. We're going to get our hands on some resin. And we're going to make some copies of these. And stay tuned because we're not done with the decks yet either. Yep.
I'll sit on you.
Okay, here, you can get on my lap. Oh, Mrs. Hatter and I are going to use said decks to duel one another, and I am going to record and show off the whole process of playing through this game.
With those.
Which one? These?
Yeah.
Well, that's neon paint.
Oh, neon pink.
Okay, you hold it.
I'm gonna put it on there.
You want to do your nails?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we are going to play this game. We're going to show off some gameplay, and hopefully, if you guys have not already downloaded the How to Play tutorial app for this game, definitely go check that out on your respective app store. And if not, obviously, Mrs. Hatter and I are going to duel each other using these decks. Let me know in the comments whether you want me to use the Zeon deck or the Wings of Advance deck, and obviously my wife will be playing the opposite deck. And yeah, like I said, you guys, if you tuned in Wednesday, you know that I'm designing deck boxes specifically for this card game, and we are going to be releasing those next month over on my store. I don't have a link for you yet, but stay tuned. We are going to put a link on the store.
Cool.
That is cool. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this unorthodox unboxing video. It's been different, I will give you that. And oh, okay, you can hold on to it. And until next time, you guys have a good weekend. Have fun. Have fun with your families. Bless you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we will catch you next time. Take it easy. Cheers.